Startup ecosystem, what the idea is that you have to learn how to pitch your idea clearly and concisely. And once you learn how to do that, then you can bring in all the stakeholders and you can get into programs that'll help you and train you on how to build it. But that first step is you have to design a business model that is desirable.
When I initially moved back to Pensacola, I had a meeting with Lloyd. Lloyd invited me for breakfast and I was telling him, man, I still have an idea for the entertainment industry. This is what I wanted to do. He was like, all right, I got Startup on the Blocks. So I need you to start coming to Startup on the Blocks and get a little more information on how to work through the tech ecosystem and take your idea and we'll get you where you need to go. My company is called The Know, is an app that is streamlining business for the entertainment industry. Yeah, so if you're a musician, what you would do is pretty much jump on the platform, you'll create a profile, but the way we created the profile is pretty much a cleaner way. So now if they want more information about you, you'll connect your social media platforms, your streaming platforms, and that way they can go directly to it. What we also have included is your calendar. So pretty much you can set your days, you can set your price for your days and automate your booking. So initially talking to Lloyd, my idea was all here, it was there, it was over here, it was over there. It was like, all right, Quinn, I get it. You got a lot that you want to do, but we need you to bring it in just a little bit and then work on your pitch, your story, and how you're going to bring it full circle to get people to understand what you're trying to create.
Most of the programs here wasn't inclusive, and so we said we'll focus on helping founders of color. We also start at the beginning of the thing, at the idea stage, whereas a lot of the programs you see here locally, they start after you're up, and that's not very efficient unless if you don't have a lot of money, you can't recover from your mistakes. And the lean startup system, it actually helps you make mistakes faster before you spend a lot of money. You don't actually start building anything until you got customer buy-in.
There was a need for small businesses to bring brand awareness to their business. I see there's a lot of makers and bakers that they're making all of these goodies and these products, but they can't market it, they can't sell it at the same time, and there needs to be kind of like that middleman, that middle person to help bring economic growth to some of the small businesses in Pensacola. So Taste of Pensacola, I came up with that idea during the pandemic when I saw things at that time that Amazon couldn't fulfill. They didn't even have those products, but the local people in the community, they did. And so there was a ton of people coming out saying, hey, I make masks. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. All the local people here that are just as talented that can actually make those products. And so I wanted to kind of showcase who they were. So with Taste of Pensacola, our income streams, we have several of them. We have the corporate America. We do corporate gifting, just regular consumers, different Pensacola natives that don't live here that want to purchase our boxes, like a taste of weddings, distribution. So we also do bulk sales. So for a private airline, if they want some local snacks and goodies on their passenger flights, they will come to Taste of Pensacola and we will source their vendors here locally. And we'll give a small business owner an opportunity to have reoccurring monthly sales. I've always had a really big vision for Taste of Pensacola. I knew that it could go beyond just local. I know that maybe other communities could possibly use the same platform that I'm trying to build. And I always have these big visions, but I never know how to even get there. Where do I start? I know it's more than, there's a lot of technical things behind it. I know there's a lot of research, but that connection, I never had it until, thankfully, I met and was introduced to Startups on the Blocks and was able to just learn more about how to grow it in terms of data. Things I just never thought about, framework, words like traction. There's a lot of things that I just did not know about and language that I need to know in order to get funding for my business. There's just a lot that I didn't know.
I would go to the stores and look online. They didn't have a wide variety of natural hair products about 8 years ago. And the ones that they did have, the ingredients, it would say that they were all natural. And when I would research the ingredients, a lot of the ingredients were not natural. I make everything, my shampoo, conditioner, I have an oil that I make, and I have 2 different separate butters. Like I had some people who were completely bald and grew their hair. It's about giving women their confidence back in their hair. I have this salon and I have a second salon, and I have my products in about 5 beauty supply stores. So I need a manufacturer to keep up with the demand at this point. Startup on the Blocks has helped my business grow, send me to different people. I'm able to do different pitch competitions to apply for grants in the community for small businesses. Lloyd's a really good person to connect with. He has a lot of resources here in the community that can help small businesses grow. If you have a product out there and you're trying to go big time, he's the person that you would want to meet with.
So it's really important to have some type of support because 9 times out of 10, most founders start out on their own. And to have somebody that has an idea of how the ecosystem works and is able to tap into other resources and bring back to the community, and that pretty much has encountered some of the roadblocks or going through the same roadblocks that we're currently going through and understands where you're at, your culture and how you respond to things, is a big help because you don't really have too many people that have access to what we have access to here in the community. And a lot of people believe that you have to leave and go to bigger cities to do the things that we're doing here. But I mean, it's one thing to have exposure, but you have to actually know it's here in the community in order to take advantage of the resources. So I get approached and I talk to friends all the time that wants to either start an idea or hear that I'm actually doing the app and wants to know more information about how are you doing it or what's the process, what's the path. I'm like, man, we have somebody here, Startup on the Blocks, Lloyd Richard. And Lloyd is here, he's a great resource to the community and to founders that's trying to learn the ecosystem. So join Startup on the Blocks.
Hello, hello. How are you? How's it going there, Cheryl? Cheryl? Yep, good to see you. You're muted there. Welcome everybody to Startup Founder Best Practices. We're here for another Startup Founder Best. There you go. Yeah, you can leave your mic on if you like. Yes. So we have Cheryl here today. You got your mic muted, Cheryl. Let's see how good your video and audio is coming in. Yes.
Okay. Is that better?
Yeah, that's fantastic. Hey, see Sam is out there. We appreciate you all tuning in. I guess I had things all mixed up last week, Cheryl. I had you coming in last week, and we had already scheduled for this week. And then Priscilla Sapp, I got you all scheduled mixed up a little bit, but we're glad to have you here today. Yeah. So you've been doing some amazing work in the community, and so
thank you for having me.
Yes, glad to have. Yeah, so go ahead and let you introduce yourself, and then I'll give a little shout out to our sponsors. You can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. I'm Cheryl Etheredge. I'm the founder of
Yeah, it looks like you having some. Yeah, look, you're lagging. You're lagging there. Your speed is a little slow, but go ahead and I'll take you off stage and just try to see what your internet.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but you're delayed. Yeah. Oh, all righty. Just can you hear me about checking your speed? I'm gonna go ahead and play a video about Cheryl's nonprofit, and then that way you all can kind of get an idea of what she does. Has her and her husband run a couple of nonprofits, and so that's pretty fantastic. Yeah. Yes. All righty. So let's see if I can find the right video here. Yeah, so let's see what
Modern philanthropic strategy operates on a specific blind spot. We evaluate highly interconnected community organizations as if they are completely isolated, single data points. This siloed evaluation model obscures the actual grassroots infrastructure operating on the ground, leaving funders and technologists unaware of how these groups truly function. Efficiency often resides within the ecosystem node, a hidden, tightly coupled network of organizations that function symbiotically as a single unit. Identifying and mapping these hidden nodes provides the structural basis for scaling community influence and designing effective AI-native funding architectures. To understand the mechanics of these nodes, we can deconstruct a specific intelligence case study in Pensacola, Florida. Community impact extends beyond the boundaries of individual tax filings, residing instead within the undocumented connective tissue operating between organizations. In Pensacola, Florida, two distinct organizations serve as the primary markers for this intelligence study. Golden Elite Track and Field Club operates as a mature, frontline youth development and athletics program with a 20-year record of service. The club has mentored over 2,500 youth, building a pipeline that produces national-caliber talent capable of competing at the highest levels. This elite athletic ecosystem is supported by partnerships with figures like five-time Olympian Justin Gatlin, who provides direct mentorship to the program. The second entity is the Black Nonprofit Group, a newly formed organization designed for back-end capacity building and convening local leaders. These groups present a sharp contrast in visibility. Golden Elite maintains a verified community presence, while the Black Nonprofit Group operates as an emerging, near-invisible coalition. While a frontline sports club and a back-office training group appear completely unrelated, deep data intelligence reveals they operate as a single, interlocked machine. We begin the deconstruction by placing the formal corporate structures and public missions of both organizations side by side. Public records show Golden Elite operates legally under Knowledge Ministries, Inc., a 501c3 tax-exempt nonprofit classified under amateur sports. Contrast this with the Black Nonprofit Group. It is a distinct Florida not-for-profit, incorporated recently with a completely different timeline. An initial review of this data suggests no correlation between the two entities. To find the connection, analysts used an entity ground truth methodology, which uses automated agents to scrape beyond surface-level corporate filings. This investigation prioritizes verified behavior over official claims. Catalings creates a false narrative of separation. Uncovering the reality of the ecosystem requires deep network analysis. We move from corporate filings to operational overlap, beginning the process of network mapping. The first connection point is shared governance. A direct line exists between both organizations through the Etheredge family. Michael and Cheryl Etheredge anchor the executive, founding, and treasury roles for both the sports club and the capacity building network. This investigation also reveals shared operational infrastructure. Both organizations utilize the exact same physical mailing address, P.O. Box 1171 in Gonzales, Florida. A third layer of connection appears in the overlapping human capital of the organizations. Christine McCrary serves as a cross-organizational bridge, holding roles in Golden Elite's governance and the Black Nonprofit Group's operations team. This configuration represents a single, structurally interlocked ecosystem node, moving past the appearance of isolated nonprofits. The strategic purpose of this dual-entity architecture becomes clear when we look at the specific roles each organization plays. Golden Elite functions as the engine that builds people. Frontline programs like youth athletics generate deep local trust and direct impact, but they often reach a ceiling in administrative capacity. The Black Nonprofit Group functions as the engine that builds institutions. It provides the structural support layer, the capacity building and back-office templates that the frontline program requires to sustain its work. This creates an impact flywheel. Golden Elite feeds civic trust into the system, and the Black Nonprofit Group provides the institutional power required to scale that impact. Pairing a high-trust community anchor with a high-capacity structural backbone creates a system stronger than its individual parts. We can now look at the broader Pensacola community ecosystem to see where this node fits. The regional network is characterized by dense personal relationships, but relatively thin institutional infrastructure. This creates the Bryan-Wire Bridge. Much of the linkage between regional organizations relies on single, highly connected individuals. This reliance on a single individual creates a structural vulnerability. If one central figure steps away, the entire community network risks losing its connection points. The paired ecosystem model addresses this by institutionalizing capacity, ensuring the network survives beyond any one leader. Moving from individual bridges to institutional backbones is a necessary step for scaling regional impact. These findings have a direct application for philanthropic funders and technologists. Traditional approaches treat Golden Elite and the Black Nonprofit Group as separate entities during onboarding. This approach often leads to duplicate outreach, fragmented data capture, and misaligned relationship building. This represents an integration penalty. Legacy siloed systems interfere with the operational efficiency of interconnected groups by forcing them to duplicate their administrative labor. Treating these entities separately creates a barrier to community growth. An AI-native solution requires a paired onboarding model. Built on a single stakeholder spine, this architecture utilizes one unified CRM as the evidence layer for the entire ecosystem node. This spine feeds two distinct operational branches, allowing compliance to remain separate while sharing core operational data. This design enables a referral loop. Golden Elite refers youth leaders to the training network, and the Black Nonprofit Group refers corporate partners to the athletic club. By mapping these hidden structural interlocks, we can build funding architectures that match the actual reality of grassroots impact. This Pensacola node serves as a functional blueprint for the future of community institutional power.
All right, I hope we roll in now, Cheryl.
I hope so.
Yeah, you coming in really good. Yeah. Well, apologize, audience, for those technical difficulties. They happen sometime.
Yes,
But
they do.
yes. So I had that video handy just to kind of, till you got your stuff ready there.
Yeah.
So I'll let you go ahead and, just do that intro back over again.
Hi, everyone. My name is Cheryl Etheredge. I'm the founder of the Black Nonprofit Group. And of course, with the video that Mr. Richard just played, I am also the president of Golden Elite Track and Field.
Fantastic. And so like you're, it said, like the video said, you've all been around 20 years or so. And yeah, so last week you were up in New York, you said, and so what was going on up there?
So yeah, Golden Elite has been around for 20 years. It's a nonprofit that my husband started. Last week we were in New York for the Nike Indoor Nationals. We had 4 of our athletes that qualified to compete. So that's where we were.
So a local small nonprofit is competing nationally?
Absolutely. We've been doing national stuff for 20 years.
So yeah, so I wonder how many in the audience that heard of your nonprofit there. So but you've also been recognized as well, right?
Oh yeah, we've had some of the fastest kids on the world. We've had Good Morning America interviews with some of our athletes a few years back. So hats off to my husband. He's done an excellent job, and of course our volunteer coaches along, and we've turned out some very good athletes.
All right, fantastic. So yeah, that's pretty neat. So a kind of a small organization having that kind of national impact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what drove you to start the Black Nonprofit Group?
So in dealing with my husband's nonprofit when we were married, I was just like trying to just go in and help wherever I could. I got diagnosed with lupus, and then having to stop working, I was just like, okay, God, like, what am I supposed to do? Because I love serving and helping others. So then I got more involved into the nonprofit world, learning the grant side of things. I served as the grant chair for Sunday's Child for about 2.5 years. And I've reviewed ACE Pensacola grants. I was a member at one point of Impact 100. And so I saw the gap within our Black nonprofits to, they had the passion, but no one is really sit down to show them and provide the tools and education that they need. So that was my thing. God is like, hey, this is something that, you can do. And so it was kind of birthed in 2024, but I just made it an official 501c3 back in December.
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic, fantastic. Yeah, sometimes, yeah, it takes a while to get started, but you off to a good start there, and got a good mission. And
Yeah.
so what did you see out there with local nonprofits and other nonprofits? What kind of challenges did you see they were having?
It was a lot of number one, the funding disparity among
Mhm.
white nonprofits versus Black.
Okay,
It's a huge gap. Black nonprofits receive less than 3% of funding. So if you look at that, that's a big part of the ecosystem that's missing.
uh-huh.
And so seeing grant applications, they were trying their hardest to, write down whatever the answer was, but just not having the structure, not having, the accounting services that a lot of these grants require, not understanding the budget and what that meant. So after, reviewing so many grants, it was hurting my heart. And I was just like, something has to be done. And I just feel the resources that people have poured into myself and Golden Elite, um, I wanted those things to be poured into our community, because it doesn't help for us to hold on to what the knowledge that we have, you should share. And so that's, was the drive behind it.
Okay, okay, good. It's I know it's challenging. So because like even like us, we with the Kukua Institute, we're still a small nonprofit, and so it's everybody has a lot of heart
Yeah.
and and stuff, and it's just real challenging, to kind of move forward with that limited staff, and
Yeah.
yeah,
And that's something that a lot of them, face, not having effective boards. Um, because let's be real, when we start nonprofits, 9 times out of 10, we're asking our spouse, our cousin, our, sister, brother to be on our board. And unfortunately, that's the first ding against us when funders see that. Um, so it's something that's very important. And hearing so many people say, I'm going broke funding my nonprofit. And so at that point, it's just like you have to build a good foundation before you ever start applying for grants. And I don't think people understand that. They just say, oh, I've got my 501c3. I'm ready to apply for grants. But when we're asking you, who you're serving, what's your capacity, they're completely lost on that question. That lets you know you're not ready for a grant. So
yeah. Well, so we, here we think of nonprofits. We look at them just like startups from the standpoint, the the business modeling stuff still applies, and so now we're in the age of AI, and so the playbook, running these nonprofits has changed. Last week, I shared a bunch of stuff about the new nonprofit type playbook, and so leveraging AI and doing automations for moving forward, and and for those who may have missed that last week, here's a link in the chat to the Google Drive folder that has some of the videos and briefings in there about that kind of about that shift between the old charity playbook and the new modern playbook. There's a lot of interesting things about the founders of nonprofits and the boards, all the nonprofit leaders, having to realize that that charity approach is kind of like a thing of the past, and yeah, and you have to kind of get to a a new, this new modern way to do stuff. And in the regular startup world, we're struggling with the same stuff, how to make that shift. But definitely is a really important thing to do to kind of want to move forward. Developing products and services to help sustain your business. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So, but from a personal standpoint, I would imagine, you mentioned that you have a disease like lupus. That's a stress-related disease. So to me, running a nonprofit is stressful. So what are you trying to do to yourself there?
I'm a glutton for punishment. Just say that.
Yeah.
But I just know, I know how to, manage my schedule. It took a while to learn to say no to a lot of things.
Mhm.
I did take a complete year off because I wanted the foundation to be right for the Black nonprofit group, and I needed to be a little bit more healthier than I was at that time.
Yeah.
So I'm fine. I'm happy that I have an amazing team behind me.
Great.
That can step in, if for some reason that I can't, but it's my passion just to be able to serve and give back to the community.
Good. Yeah, and I guess the reason why I bring that up because we have so many passionate, uh, startup founders. We have passionate nonprofit founders and leaders, and that if you don't have the right infrastructure, you end up burning yourself out.
Mhm.
So that's one of the things we definitely have to learn how to leverage the AI to move forward. I'm going to show this infographic, and you can tell me, did it capture your two nonprofits kind of good there?
Yeah. Even though they're just two separate, but yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things we're trying to do here is it's just to help people find out, what it takes to kind of evolve from, the old way of doing business to the new way of doing business. Yeah, and I was listening to the founder of Anthropic today that does the Claude thing, and basically he said that the capability of AI is doubling every 4 months.
I believe it.
Yeah, and so, and so I guess the big question is how can you actually leverage that, with your nonprofit or startup?
So it does a lot of that everyday paperwork. It makes it simplified. If I want to tell Chat GPT, hey, create this email regarding blah blah blah, or I really use AI every day. To the point I got extra stock. And because it is the way of the future, and that's what I try to tell nonprofits, like, use this to your advantage. Even if for something you don't understand, you can ask that question, like, what does it mean to be sustainable? So there's no excuse for nonprofits not to be able to thrive when you have these specific tools.
Yeah.
Have to have the willingness to learn them.
Yes. Yeah. And so like, I think you're 100% right there uh, to on that. And so, and that's part of what we've started to switch and try to do is to kind of help people, uh, learn how to use it better.
Mhm.
Because once you kind of understand the power of it, you can move it. I guess you can move a lot faster, but you don't want to just move
Yeah.
just for the sake of moving. You still got to have a solid solid base for what you're doing.
Absolutely. You can't rely on it completely. You still have to think about what it is you're going to ask. Because I see some people that just randomly just use it. And I was like, well, did you read that? Did that really sound like you? But it does take, trial and error, but it's an amazing tool.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we do two things that I want to make sure the audience are aware of, on this particular vein, that helps. So like with so when it relates to a business or a business for profit or nonprofit, there's some frameworks for business modeling. Like we use the lean stack, and then we also use a product called Startup Science. Well, lean stack is used for kind of modeling and figuring out your business, and then the Startup Science is used for like the operation of the business.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but so we actually use AI to kind of simulate the business. But when you prompt outside of a framework, your prompts are not based on any significant foundation. So yeah, so the business model design stuff is like your foundation that understands your business model, understands your customer segments, and so when you prompt within a framework, it actually helps you out. So what I'm going to do is this is for all those folks that tune in. I'm going to share a prompt with you that will help you kind of move forward with your prompting. And so when you use this particular prompt, it's going to it's going to help the AI understand what you're trying to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
So when you use this particular thing, I'll go ahead and share it on my screen so I can explain it a little better. And so I named it after one of my founders.
Mm-hmm.
And so and I've been telling people about this for months now. So the idea is, she's very analytical. So I named it after her. Her name is Lanika, and she shocked me when we were doing a workshop on what kind of results she was getting from her prompt.
Mm-hmm.
So what I have been struggling with sharing this is when you. So for me, it was I knew how to make it work for me. So this prompt right here. So when you actually paste it into your chat GPT or whatever, and what you want to do is it's based on let's see if I can get down here to the bottom. So you don't have to paste anything in here. You can just say for the way I've been prompting over the past year or past 2 years or past month or past whatever, please run the following prompt. So what you would do is you would copy this prompt and then paste it in there. Then at the top of the prompt, you say, for the way I've been prompting in the past 2 years, please run the following prompt. And then it's going to actually create a prompt that you can actually use to analyze articles, transcripts, anything. And then, and what you'll notice when you analyze stuff, it could be a report when you or anything, or when you go to a conference, when you analyze it, it's going to analyze it based on your individual organization's need.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to keep improving your results.
Awesome. Yeah, that's pretty neat. I remember seeing that on one of your lives about a month ago, I think. And
Yeah, so I'll repeat one more time for everybody. So like, just copy this thing and paste it in your whichever large language model you use. But at the beginning of it, just say, for the way I've been prompting in the past, however long you've been prompting, please run the following prompt, and it's going to literally generate a personalized prompt for you. Yeah. And the difference in results that you get from prompting in the future and using this to analyze your stuff. And so now, like for me, it's just keep speeding up my ability to execute and create things. And so so that's kind of the value of it. So a version of this was used to do the research on your organizations, your two organizations. So like Claude gave probably a 40-page report.
It's a lot.
But what we do is we take those reports and dump them over in Notebook LM. And then that way you can kind of synthesize the reports even better.
And you told me about the Google Notebook. I'm like in love. It helps me with my PowerPoint presentations, and I don't have to stress myself out.
Yeah,
So I love it.
That's really really fantastic. So yeah, so it's like I said, it's very useful. And I have a software developer working with me now part time, and I had him change this, and just overnight, his whole situation has changed.
Wow.
So yeah, yeah. So and so like you can use it. So just definitely take advantage of that. And yeah, so the nonprofits you've been involved with or working with, what are you seeing? Just kind of like from one nonprofit to another one. What are you actually seeing?
I don't want to say high expectations. It's just a lack of understanding. And if there is a grant application, asking for an astronomical amount of money when you don't even have QuickBooks yet. So just the basics of, I have people from just starting out to, that's been around for 10 plus years, but sometimes, no one's ever told them and they're just trying to do the best that they can do. So I see tons of different things where budget stuff doesn't add up. The metrics of who you're serving and doing, it doesn't make sense financially. That you're saying you serve X amount of people, but your numbers don't really show that. So that's always a red flag for funders. So a lot of them are very willing to learn. They're, excited. They want to get better. And I try to tell them, they'll say, oh, well, can I just pay you to write my grant? And I was like, I know how to write grants, but I'm not going to write your grant. My goal is to teach you, because if you can learn to write one good grant, you are, that's a successful thing that you can use for every other grant that you apply. And if you don't take the time to educate yourself how to do something, if you're just continually paying people, a lot of people can take your money as grant writers and stamp their name on it, and you have no clue what's in that, grant application. So it's very important for you to stop, do the research. And I think a lot of people just want things fast, and nonprofit world is not a, fast pace as far as funding is concerned.
Yeah. And yeah, so you got to make that shift from just try to figure out better ways to be sustainable. So like, yeah, so the so grant writing, using AI for grant writing, that's a pretty good use case because you have the AI can just focus on what the request for proposal says, and so it can do a lot less hallucinating when it has something that it needs a goal to kind of actually get to. Yeah, that's good.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm going to put another thing here. To, a notebook that you all can use that about that. It's about the architect mindset, and but it's like most of us are are operators, and so we hands on, and so we got to start designing these systems to help people. So because you don't have the capacity to like there's so many nonprofits here in Pensacola. Imagine if you're trying to teach all of us how to do stuff. You just it's impossible. So you have to eventually switch to this architect's type mindset. And so this notebook contains a lot of information that might be useful. And so I'll kind of just put it there so you can actually see some of the stuff that's actually in here, and it'll change your whole way of thinking. So like this first video is from like a AI user to an AI architect. But I'm telling you, if you like, so you may not know this, but so like if you're watching a YouTube video or you just have the link to a YouTube video, you can literally use that prompt I gave you earlier to get the information. Well, once you run the prompt and get it personalized for you, then you can take that prompt and then you can analyze any YouTube video and it'll take everything out of there as it relates to you. It's just reads between the line. It highlight. It's really amazing. So this is a good notebook right here. You can see one document that actually created all these things here. Yeah. So that's really a good deal. Let me see what else I have in this little sheet here that might be useful for everybody. Yeah. Because I think that's the number one thing we got to do. We got to make sure people know how to use the AI. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah. So and we're gonna have this training coming up here at the Founders Innovation Summit. I'll pull up my slide here so you all can see that. Let's go here. Yeah. So basically, 3 years ago, this will be our third summit, and basically, what I saw from working with all these founders is that, from my perspective, I may be a little wrong, but what is innovation? How do you really innovate? What does it really mean? So so when you're challenged, figure out a way to solve a problem. That's starting off with. Anytime you start working on an idea and coming up with a new process to solve a problem, and that new process, if it's impactful to a lot of users, it's there. So I'm going to put the link to register for this in there, and so we generally have scholarships for people to attend. So just go ahead and fill out the application. It's not going to ask for any money or anything. up front. So, but you're going to be glad you did. So it's going to be all. We have a capacity to do about 100 people in person here in Pensacola, but we also had a capacity to do 1,000 people online. So, and so just everybody should register. And the reason why you should register is because those the videos from the conference, if even if you're not available on the 18th, those videos will be there for you when you are available. So that's why it's important to register, register, because if you don't register, you're not going to get the link to the video. So yeah. A lot of people say I can't make it, and then don't bother to register, but that's a mistake.
Yeah.
And so the good news is that we're going to open up majority about AI stuff and agents that kind of help you move along with your nonprofit or startup.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's going to be definitely well worth the while to kind of move things forward.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. Yeah, I'll definitely make sure I share it with the nonprofits.
Yeah, so for sure, and yeah, we in the past two we had 12, what was it, 12, 16 or whatever that over there had them do the catering, so they do a good breakfast.
Yes.
And a good lunch. So that's pretty
Okay.
pretty neat. Yes. So you have an event coming up this weekend, right?
Yes, the nonprofit expo. I have a booth that we will be there just to, let the public know that we exist.
So you're participating in the thing that their PYP is doing, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess a lot of so I heard they're going to have about, I don't know, close to 59 profits there. So that should be a pretty good opportunity for folks. Yeah. So let me do this real quick before I forget. I'm gonna just kind of give people some idea of what we're gonna cover in the on the summit. So so on Friday afternoon, we're gonna have a reception from 5 to 8. And so the past 2 years, the city and county officials have been coming, Visit Pensacola has been coming, and the founders are coming, and some of them will bring their software, hardware. So you'll get a chance to play with that during the event. And so that's a pretty lively event. And it's literally, in addition to this just summit, it's also going to be an innovation tour where the Black Innovation Leaders of Florida, we're their innovation hub here in Northwest Florida. And so they'll be here during the afternoon portion of the summit.
Okay.
So in the morning, so what's neat about this is that we have a panel of athletes and world-class athletes that are going to be doing. We're going to start it off as "Are You Coachable?" And so that should be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we get stuck in our ways sometimes, don't we?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's hard to, sometimes make that leap into change and to get, with the times. Like, some people are just like old school. Like I was saying, I really love this laptop that's just not working right now, but okay, I got to use my new one.
Yeah. That's exactly right. And so then we're going to have a hands-on session with Rose Legis. She's I guess she's a former NASA engineer that started her own engineering company. And I'm always very envious of her because she's been going to the NVIDIA conference for the last 3 years, and that they're just wrapping that up out there this week as well. So she's going to do a hand-on session getting your business ready for AI.
Mm-hmm.
And so in this next session, Dr. Valencia Bell, she's going to be streaming in from, she's from Mobile, Alabama, but she's going to be streaming in from Tulsa, somewhere in Oklahoma. But she's doing a case study, and I was telling everybody about her last week or so, is that, so here's a case of a non-tech founder that's got customers all over the world, and so less than a year ago she was on this particular event, and the reason why I got on is because I had attended a Money Fest over in Mobile at the Innovation Portal, and I hope they're doing that again, and it's typically sometime in May, and so this lady was winning all the pitch competitions, and it was pretty amazing. Everybody's talking about this Dr. Bell, so I finally get her to come on. And so after we finished the event, we stayed on talking about 30 minutes, and I was sharing some things with her about AI and AI agents and stuff. And so that lady, she went out and pulled all that together. So she's now totally AI enabled her company.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. And so, here you got a non-technical founder. And this lady, her company's got all kind of endorsements, from Ivy League schools, professional, sports teams and everything. It's pretty amazing. So she should have a very inspirational talk. And so the afternoon session, that's when the innovation tour will start right after lunch. And then we're going to have another session where another non-tech founder that does workshops and consulting, she was able to leverage AI agents and, to kind of move her business forward as well. So she's going to, and then we're going to have, of course, we're going to have some stuff about funding.
Yeah.
That's always a good deal there. And see here, using AI the right way. Yeah, so we have a panel for that. We have a gentleman coming over from the Innovation Portal that used to work in Silicon Valley, and the Innovation Portal over in Mobile, they do a lot of stuff, and they actually serve Northwest Florida as well. And so a lot of people are not aware of that, and they offer programs that companies here in Northwest Florida can do. But this is going to, because the bottom line, we're going to make sure before you leave, and we're going to give you a package of AI tools that is going to just help you move forward from where you are. I've been working really hard since the beginning of the year to kind of package up stuff so it can kind of help the founders out there move forward. And so
that's going to be a good summit for people to attend.
Yeah, and so feel free to share it with people, all over. We have people even tuning in from overseas. So, so it's a really great opportunity.
Yeah, and I think the community also needs to understand. At the end of the day, nonprofit is a business. It's just a different tax bracket that you're in, but it's a business. And, some of us, we've never had that experience. And it takes going to things like this and your summit and, and just I listen to podcasts all the time and just try to get as much knowledge as possible. You know,
Yeah,
to
that's really fantastic. So let me tell you the secret. So you can use that prompt to analyze, the transcripts from podcasts.
Yep.
You
I
see what?
did that on the Google Notebook LM. I made it do a podcast. I was like, this is so neat. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, so like a lot of people, you don't. So this is kind of the secret to the sauce is like, AI is basically a pattern matching engine. So
Mhm.
like when any information, it can find a pattern in it and also show you how that pattern relates to what you're doing.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that prompt I gave you earlier, when you start using it, it's going to tell you all your blind spots. It's going to tell you the hidden stuff that's contained within the stuff. It's literally gonna change the way you use AI.
Oh yeah, and it's very candid if you ask its opinion too.
Oh yeah, so that's the other thing is when you're not doing that too good, it's gonna let you know you're not doing good.
It definitely will. It's like you're getting off track. You know, you
Yeah,
need to focus. So
yeah.
yeah.
So like I want to share this particular slide. I did some I was hoping to get um, Priscilla uh, on tonight with her PCS Outreach Ministries.
Hmm.
But so and so this particular thing, when I did the analysis like I did on your company, and I'll provide you with the link for your company. But it's and the motivation behind doing that prompt is to kind of see how you've been operating and to see how you can transition to this AI enabled nonprofit.
Hmm.
So and so that's what the idea behind there. So she has been doing a bunch of stuff, and so she's having an event this weekend as well. But what's interesting about that event is it's in contrast with what she's traditionally been doing, and so because when you're trying to um, help people, for different times of the year, and you don't have a way to interact with them through the year, that
Hmm.
that you're not going to be able to collect the data you need to get the grants,
Absolutely.
that you need, and so, but and so this investment uh, and type thing she's having this weekend, it's actually moving toward um, not just giving people a fish, it's going to be trying to teach them how to fish with the income information. So and that's because a lot of things we're out here as trying to do to help people, the system is already got them locked in, so you have to come up with a system to kind of get them out of that cycle that they're in.
Correct.
Yeah. And
Yeah. Because we have a lot of nonprofits that I love what she does. Golden Elite, we passed out flyers last year. We couldn't make it to this one
yeah,
that she's having on Saturday, but I try to tell the nonprofits that I'm dealing with, what is your programming that you are trying to, do? Because a lot of people just do events throughout the year, and it's like, oh, I'm doing back to school drives, I'm doing this, and it's just like, well, that's nice, but that's not an impact. That's not something measurable. If you say we passed out 100 backpacks with ACT study guide prep books, then you could be getting somewhere. But a lot of times nonprofits kind of, lose fund, not say lose funding, but it's a lot of money out of the nonprofit's pocket to do these events, but they're not getting anything in return because it's short-term impact that they're doing. So but yeah, I saw their interview on Channel 3, and I like how the approach that she's taking for this one.
Yeah, you know, you're a hardworking lady, and she's a hardworking lady, and she's been around 20 years or more as well. And
Mhm.
so, but so I think, you know, your job with the Black nonprofit group and what we're trying to do with the Kukua Institute, we're trying to help organizations build, you know, capacity
Mhm.
to kind of do stuff, and so uh, that's what the deal is. So she is having this community expo on Saturday from 10 to 2 p.m. at the Brownsville Community Center. So if folks that are out in the local area, you know, so we hope they can support her, yeah, and learn something, you know, from that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I just think as a community, just coming together and understanding collaboration is not a bad thing. I see that a lot where I'm just like, well, I don't want to collaborate. They may take my idea. And it's like, well, you know, funders look at if you're a grassroots, if you collaborate with someone that's been around longer, they appreciate that because number one, they know their money is going to be done correctly. Because you, at the end of the day, you don't want to give Joe Blow whatever $10, and there's no investment coming back. So I think a lot of nonprofits kind of back away from that.
Yeah.
But collaboration is definitely the key.
But you know, so you know, I participated in an event you did back in December, that partnership thing. So what inspired you to do that?
I think having a different perspective with that panel group, we had you as a nonprofit and entrepreneur. We had a realtor on the panel. We had a mental health person, because at the end of the day, even though our niche may be different, it's still business. And I wanted the community to see the difference in response, how one question of course is going to have four different responses, but you get a better idea of what you need to do. And we have a great one coming up in June. We're partnering with Equity Project Alliance, and we're going to have an amazing panel talking about board strength, funding, and why certain things are important. So I'm super excited and working with Dr. Wiley.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
it's just, we need something different. We need things that, because everybody goes to a conference, you leave the same way you came more than likely. And with the Black nonprofit group, I want more hands-on labs to where, hey, we're applying for this grant. Okay, we're gonna all get together. We're gonna do this grant together. You're gonna do the work. And so I think that's what's gonna be a little bit different. And just for the nonprofits to understand that there's funding outside of Pensacola, and they have to understand there's limited amount of funders here in our city, and they can't fund everyone. So you have to know how to diversify your revenue streams and look outside of your area.
yes, yes. So I talk about what we how we use partners to kind of move forward. So basically, we've been doing this particular program. I think we came up with the idea to do it uh, in the spring of 2020, and then we kicked it off in August 13th of 2020. So we've been doing this event um, every we only missed one planned event in those 5.5 years, and so that was called a hurricane. So like every Thursday night we're here to support founders and helping them learning the best practice. And I can tell you, anybody out there right now, that the thing that's in common between nonprofits, the traditional mom and pop and lifestyle businesses and startups is if you want help, including money or resources, there's a, kind of like 8 things that you have to be able to communicate, and that's the common thread between all of them. And they're all about how you what it boils down to is what your business model is. And so that's kind of what the deal is there, because you have to know how to communicate how you if you're for profit, how to make money, or if you're nonprofit, how your impact and on and so on and so forth. So what we had to do was since we were small, we had to partner with organizations, and so so this is the Startup Science here. We make that available to all the founders and nonprofits, and it's like an ecosystem for money, training, you name it. It's in that thing to help you move forward. And then we in 2023 we partnered with the Blackson Technology Foundation, and we worked with approximately 200 of their founders. To kind of, and a lot of those founders are still working with us, and moving forward. We partnered with this company because we knew that businesses needed a back office, and so we partnered with this company that give you 6 months free if you're a startup, but they automatically, if you're nonprofit, you get it for half price. Yeah, and so this is an AI company we partnered with a couple of years ago, right here. This one a couple of years ago, and this is the platform we use to teach business modeling. And so that's there. We partnered, and I'm on the board with this particular organization, and a member of this Kukua Institute is a member. This is a national organization. It may be international, with over 200 for-profit and nonprofit organizations that work with Black founders.
Oh wow!
Can you imagine? You got in the States, you got that many organizations, and these are just a few of the Black ones that actually support Black founders. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, and so and Goody Nation, they help you. We went through their program, and so they help hold you accountable to what you're doing. So when you meet every week and an accountability huddle, and so if you're not doing anything and making any progress, and everybody else is reporting progress, it kind of makes you get off your butt and start doing stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so these are some of our funders, and that has helped us out with all of our programs, and so it's really amazing, the support. So it basically tells you people are interested in helping you out, but you have to be willing to learn the best practices for doing it. And so, I can tell whether a nonprofit or a startup, you get involved with it, but you may think what's what, and how this whole system works, but it's a different story, once you get in there and you're trying to grow and
absolutely
and move forward.
And dealing with the different policy shifts and presidential administrations, it does change a lot of different things.
Yes.
And I think as nonprofits, we're seeing that more than ever.
For sure. Yeah, and having the perspectives on that, and being able to be resilient, and to kind of move forward. So is there anything that that you want to share related to like when you look back over the years, the advice that you can because to be working this stuff like for 20 years and then seeing all the problems, then starting something to help solve the problem.
Mhm.
I think that's you should have. We look at if you have anything you want to share with us, we definitely love to hear it.
Just don't be afraid to learn. You never stop learning. And I think sometimes people, it's just like, oh, you're telling me, not to apply for this grant because you just don't want me to. And I'm like, no, if we all know what we're doing, it's better for the community. So if anyone is interested, we do have membership. And eventually in 2027, we will be giving out small community grants to those nonprofits that are members. So we are running a $99 for life special for if individual or nonprofit. If you sign up between now and December 31st, that price is locked in for life as long as you keep your membership active. And if you have a business that you would like to pour into these nonprofits, then that's a $250 membership. But it's just trying to build a community, and it's not just for Black nonprofits. We have tons of allies that are getting membership that's super excited because they've seen the same thing that I saw. And the question is like, what do we do? How can we help? And so just don't be afraid. I mean, that's the cheap investment. People spend $100, probably per month going to Starbucks. So if you are true and you want to learn and you want to grow in your nonprofit, it's not going to hurt you to spend $100 investment for something that you're going to triple over time, I say. So
Fantastic. Yeah. So and just imagine the network you have with other nonprofits, so you don't make the same mistakes they made. And
absolutely.
Yeah, and it's anytime you have a group of organizations, see, just by being a member of the Black Innovation Leaders of Florida and sitting on that board, that offers a lot of opportunities. And then, being a member of our company, being a member of the Black Innovation Alliance, get to network with other folks all over, and you see how they're doing. So you're not living in a vacuum, and so I think with your and so the whole thing for you and all of us is that, so imagine if you could productize the help that the nonprofit organization leaders actually need, and then you could and leveraging AI and scale that all over the United States. And so that would be good. But see, that's what the business modeling is all about. And we have the tools to allow people, to help people understand how to do that. But yeah, you got to get on board with the AI.
Yeah, you definitely do. I've already had people reach out that aren't in Pensacola. It's like, can we get a chapter where I'm at? And I'm just like, whoa, I'm just, it's like we're just getting started. But they see the need. And, I just feel, I'm thankful that God, led this on my heart to do it. I kicked and screamed for a while before I made it an actual nonprofit. But it's time.
Yeah. All righty. Fantastic. Well, we appreciate you sharing what you've been doing, and I think it's literally amazing for your organization, the Golden Elite Track Club, and now the Black Nonprofit Group, to show that you can make impact and make a difference, and move forward, and then to have the PCS Ministries to be doing all the stuff that they're doing, but to figuring out a way to to not make it so manual.
Yeah.
That you can help people get jobs, or because like just with the partnerships, you can sort of funnel people to where they need to go.
Absolutely.
So we're going to get off here, but I put the link to this. Let's see if I can get it to show on the screen here. To this, to this Google Doc that has all the links in it for all of the majority of our programs that we offer here at the Kukua Institute, and just take advantage of the notebooks that are in there, and because they are insightful for moving forward. All right.
Absolutely. Well, you guys can check out our website. It's theblacknonprofit.org, so you can get more information.
Theblacknonprofit.org.
Yeah.
So no group, just the Black Nonprofit?
I'm sorry?
The blacknonprofit.org?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha. All righty. So we'll appreciate you tuning in here. We appreciate you, Cheryl. Give the husband my regards. And yeah.
He just got home from practice, so yeah, I will.
All righty.
All right. You have a good night.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.